to welcome you folks to the Pathfinder Phase 1 Training Challenge. Wyndham Woodcraft and I have decided to make this series by choosing different challenges from the Pathfinder Phase 1 Training certification course. We've picked certain challenges we want to do within this course, and we're going to bring videos to you. Some of them is going to be pretty funny. Some of them I have not done before. I've got 30 years of experience in bushcraft, woodsmanship, survival, and it's going to be interesting even for me to try some of these challenges. Some of these challenges I've done many times, hundreds of times, but others I have never done. And the importance of this course, I find, is that it gets people out there, and you get practical experience, which is very important. You can have knowledge, but you also need practical experience. And this allows you to do so, this course. Which, by having practical experience and knowledge, then if you get lost, you feel a lot better. You're not as panicked as much. You can get at a skill set that basically, if you're lost, and you'll just sit down and say, okay, I'm camping for the night. You know, no big deal. They'll find me tomorrow. You know, you can get at that skill set. It takes years and years of practice, though, you know. But there are many people that have that skill set. So anyhow, that's what we're going to do with these series, and we'd like you guys to join us, and gals, of course. Now, one of the challenges is to pick your kit, and that's what I've done here. It's based on the 15 C's of survivability. So I'm going to show you the kit that I actually put together. I'm going to go over the first 5 C's. Why these are chosen as the primary 5 C's is because these are the hardest to create out in the woods without a lot of different tools and knowledge. So these are the primary 5 C's for like a 72 type scenario. And these are in no order. One is a cutting tool. And I'm not going to go over everything about these. One is a cutting tool. And this is what I chose. This here is a 5-inch full tang, 1/4 inch thick, this one. But this one here is heavy enough that I can chop with, I can baton with it. And it's small enough that I can choke up and do fine carving. So this is why I chose this. It's a tough knife that's going to last out there. This knife here is more a companion. We'll get into that later. So one of the 5 C's is you want a good cutting tool. Full tang preferably. And one that's rugged enough to take the task that you're going to put it up with. The second is a fire starter. Now I chose this ferro rod here. It's a 1/2 inch thick by 5 inches overall. Got a little bit of duct tape up here for a knob for a grip, and I put a striker on it. So that's my combustion device. Now another C in those 5 are cordage. I chose number 36 bank line and 550 paracord. Both of these can be unwound, and you can use the little tiny fibers within the cordage to make finer cordage so you can use for different tasks. Paracord is extremely good for that. You can take apart paracord and you can use it for a fishing line, use it for snares. You can use multi uses for paracord. And then you have a C called cover. Now what I chose is a tarp and a wool blanket. Now this tarp is a 9x12 and it does not take up much room, but the size of a loaf of bread, and it weighs basically nothing. So because I can't, I'm 6 foot, and an 8x6 tarp doesn't do anything for me. I mean, it will work at a pinch, but it's not my preferred. I want something big enough that I can make a really nice shelter that I know I'm going to keep dry, and it's going to keep the wind off of me. This here is my choice. And then I have a wool blanket. And wool is the only fabric that can sustain insulation value even when wet, up to 80%. Some say 60, some say 80. So that's one of the reasons I chose wool as well. Then the last on the 5 C's is a container. A stainless steel water bottle is a great choice. And the reason why is because I can boil this within a fire. And I can purify water in it. It has a tight fitting lid so I can store water in it. So that makes the stainless steel container very important. And as well as with a tight fitting lid. So that's my 5 C's. I'm going to show you the other 5 C's to make up the 10 emergency survival kit. And like I said, no order. This is cotton. This is a cotton bandana. It's a smug. And it will provide you with material to make char cloth. It's good for gathering. It's good for first aid, bandages, and so on. Bandanas and smogs have multi-uses. So that's one of the C's as well. Within this piece of tape, I have a canvas needle. It's for sail needle, actually. And so I can poke through leather, I can poke through canvas and other materials for sewing if I rip my gear in the bush. So I have a canvas needle. Another C is cargo tape. Now what I brought out here is duct tape. I brought red so it's visible. Uses for duct tape. And then candle. That's another C. I prefer headlamps. And the reason why is because it allows your hands free. Most of my times out, this is my best friend right here. And I actually carry this when I go hunting or just for a day trip or such, because if I'm out there longer than what I thought I was going to be and it gets dark, I don't want to be fumbling around or lose my trail. So I always carry some sort of light with me when I go out. It's become very useful to me. And then a compass. This here has a magnifying glass on it, so that actually helps me for another fire making method. But it also has the ring that you can turn and set your direction where you want to go. Now, compass orientation is also a good skill to learn. Myself, I don't usually use a compass, but I know the basics, and that's about it. Now what I'm going to do is show you the redundancies. Okay, now the 5 redundancies are items that can prolong your stay out there. The first 10 is basically a 72-hour scenario, but these here will help for you to stay out there longer. And this is what I chose. Like I said, I only chose 4 items right here. I may put something else with this to make my 5, but this here is only 4 items. And I chose the Mora Companion as well as my big knife. This also has a diamond sharpener right inside the sheath, right there. So I'm bringing a sharpening stone. As well. In here, I have another container for cooking. This here is a stainless steel canister set, one of the canisters, and I made it into a pot, and I've used it many times. It works great. And here's another cup, Sierra cup I believe, that I use this as a lid, and also gives me a cup. Now this is good because you can boil water and transfer this over to your water bottle, so you have sanitized water. So that's another redundancy. And another cutting tool. This is my buck saw. Now it's all in this tube. You can carry a folding saw as well. I prefer this one just because it's nice and compact, as you see, and I can cut down a lot quicker what I need with this. So that's the only 4 other items I have. So all together we have we've got the water bottle, container, ferro rod is a combustion device, cordage, the cover, of course, a tarp and a wool blanket. We've got a compass, headlamp, sail needle, duct tape, my smog, container, cook pot, my cutting tools, my knives, and my saw. So that's the entire kit. That's what I'll be bringing out when I do all these challenges. So I have 14 items right now. I may put another item in there, like a tomahawk or an axe or something like that there. I'm big on cutting tools. But a lot of the stuff I don't normally carry. And I can get by with a lot less than this for a lot of these challenges. But for long term, this here would make a nice kit for me. Anyhow, I hope you enjoy this series, and I'm going to put links down below to some videos of Dave Canterbury, and he goes over the 5 C's, the redundancies, and as well as the 10-piece emergency kit. So stay tuned and look for Wyndham Woodcraft, his video on his kit and how he set it up, because I have no clue yet, and I'll be looking for it. Hope you enjoy this series. Thank you.